Hi everyone, this is Bill Wilson, and this is my reflection on my MBA program with Post University. I started my MBA back at the end of 2018, and the reason was that in 2016, my company at that time, GE Capital, was acquired by Wells Fargo. So what I was doing at GE Capital was structured a little differently at Wells Fargo. So I decided that to get better at what I was doing, I needed to get my MBA. So 2 years after the acquisition, I applied at PostU. I started the program. What I did at GE and what I'm doing now at Wells Fargo is basically the function of a risk analyst. The most appropriate concentration in the MBA program that related to what I was doing as a risk analyst was finance. So, which all involves evaluating risk mainly as it relates to the financial performance of our customers. However, I am a creative type, so the marketing and the project management concentrations were definite possibilities that I thought about and that I seriously considered. However, I stuck with finance, and so now here I am finishing up with my capstone. Out of the 9 courses that the core courses, you would think that the 2 classes that tied to my finance concentration, which were financial tools and quantitative analysis, that those would have been my favorites. However, um, surprisingly, the ones that I enjoyed the most were strategic marketing and project management. And the reason that I like strategic marketing was that I got to create a new fictitious product, explosive energy bar. And then I designed a whole marketing and program around the product. And it was mainly the creative aspect that I enjoyed the most in developing the product and then doing all the research of all the different market segments that would buy the product. I mean, it was mainly about using my imagination and then finding research to support my imagination for the new product. So this was probably one of the most fun courses I took. I'm not sure what to say about why I liked the project management course because originally that was a little bit intimidating and it kind of scared me. But when I got into the course and just basically surrendered to the process, I was surprised. I mean, I was surprised to find that it was just as creative as strategic marketing. I mean, it was a lot of fun in the sense that I got to develop a project plan to completely renovate my condo. I got to do the research about the cost and what it would take to do it. I put the plan together, and then I had to make sure that all the pieces of the project fit together. So both of these non-concentration courses, these were key components to my capstone project. Even though my concentration is finance, I'll cover it more in the video in week 8, but creating a new fictitious business venture in capstone, that was mostly driven by what I learned here in marketing and in project management. So in reality, what I find out is that each MBA concentration overlaps in the real world. Even though I'm focused on finance, I mean, doing the MBA program here helped me appreciate how all of the courses, all of the concentrations actually interact at my current place of employment at Wells Fargo. I mean, I've actually been able to contribute more effectively on developing strategy for our department, not just doing finance. I've also been able to help out on some project planning about some internal improvement processes. So all of the concentrations actually tie together. But for my concentration, there were 3 finance concentration courses. So just starting with those. The first course, investment management and analysis, that taught me that if I was in La La Land and I was Warren Buffett, I can make some fairly standard and fairly informed business decisions. So Some of the information on derivatives and investment management, that may not necessarily relate to what I currently do at my job as a risk analyst. However, what I thought was applicable out of the course were the financial models. Those about evaluating risk and making investment decisions, I think those were very applicable to what I currently do as a risk analyst. The second course, Organizational Risk Management, that was mostly about insurance products, which I don't deal with a lot in my current function as a risk analyst. But what I learned from that course was about measuring risk, whether it's specifically related to insurance or any other business function. I mean, it's obvious that risk needs to be measured and evaluated. I even found that in some of my conversations with my customers about their financials, after a few minutes, it became clear I could tell if they had at least some strategies in place about managing risk. And most especially, it was about their competitors. Did they have effective strategies to deal with their competitors? So the third course, Advanced Financial Statement Analysis, was definitely most applicable to what I do as a risk analyst. We've got ratios, forecasting, budgeting, trend analysis, and let me repeat that, trend analysis. I can't stress enough, financial trend analysis is key to what I do as a risk analyst. So what I learned out of this course, Advanced Financial Statement Analysis, was very important. And the reason it was important is that if you're a commercial lender like Wells Fargo, the customer's capacity to repay debt from their cash flow was absolutely important. I was able to have more productive discussions with my customers about, their balance sheet, income statement, but what was most important was cash flow. So moving on to CAPSIM. If I had one recommendation about improving the CAPSTONE course, it would be to provide a supplemental tutorial for the simulation part of the course outside of what was within CAPSIM. Now, I get it. I understand that in real life, there are no tutorials. You end up in certain positions. You have to make the best decisions you can at the time with the information that's available. However, I just thought that the coach function within CAPSIM was kind of limited. It had some drawbacks. So my recommendation is just a supplemental tutorial, one that goes into more depth about the various functions within CAPSIM and how they all interacted with each other. So just as a recap, I found that every course in the MBA program was relevant. It was relevant to what I currently do as a risk analyst. The finance concentration courses were obviously very important, but the most fun I had was the marketing and the project management courses. And the reason why they were more fun is because they were creative, which I enjoyed a lot. So that's all I have. This is Bill Wilson, and thank you.